Resolution is an integral part of most chord progressions. How does it work, and how can you use it effectively in your songwriting? When breaking down the dynamics of a chord progression, think of the starting point as home. This is our tonic chord, which we can label 1. It's the chord that most often defines the key of our progression, even if it's not actually the first chord we play in the song. From home, we progress on our journey, represented by the chord progression itself. Each chord change is a new crossroads in our journey that either reinforces or changes the direction in which we move. In other words, we could follow a safe, predictable path close to home, which is what a lot of popular music does, rarely venturing outside the diatonic scale. Or we could follow a less trodden path outside the diatonic scale, using unpredictable chord movements and key changes. This would be typical of progressive and experimental music. This time spent away from home can be short or long. Eventually, if you don't get lost, you return home. Our chord progression will, in most cases, resolve back to its tonic root. In more progressive music, where key changes may occur, we'll find ourselves resolving our journey at a new home. It may be your friends or family put you up for the evening, or you stop at a hotel, in which case you'll eventually come back home, back into the original key. Or you could have bought a new home, in which case you resolve to a new tonic chord. Either way, you'll be looking for signposts telling you that you're nearly home. One of those signs is tension chords. They mark the imminent resolution of a sequence of chords. On both simple and complex journeys, the most commonly used tension chord is the 5 chord in the diatonic scale, also known as the dominant chord. This is the same as building a chord on the 5th tone of the major scale, with the first tone being the root of our tonic chord. Let's say our tonic is D major. We can find the root of D and build our D major home from that foundation. The 5 chord is positioned at a certain interval from this tonic chord, a perfect 5th interval to be specific. In the key of D major, the 5 chord would therefore be A major. When the D major progression journeys away from home, we can use the A major chord to create the tension we need to resolve back to D major. But keep in mind the 5 chord is just one of the signposts we can use to guide us back home. We can enhance the tension created by the 5 chord by using some dominant 7th variations. These are all covered in the chord theory section on fretjam.com. Here are some examples. Dominant 7th, suspended 7th. This is often used just before changing to a dominant 7th as follows. An extended dominant 13th, or to really enhance the tension and turn that signpost into a huge flashing marquee, augment the dominant 7th, or use a flat 9th. It's important that you can hear this tension resolution effect no matter where your home is, no matter which key your progression is in. Another not so commonly used resolution method is called a backdoor cadence. This is like taking an alternative back route home. The backdoor resolution is signposted with an alternate 7 chord in the diatonic scale, known as the subtonic chord, one whole step down from the major tonic. On the fretboard, you could see that as 2 frets down from the tonic chord root. Again, if our home was D major, the backdoor subtonic would be C major, or more often a dominant 7th variation. A minor 4 chord is often used to signpost the backdoor route. In this example, that would be G minor, making our backdoor sequence G minor, C7, D major. In this particular example, the A major 5 chord draws us to a resolution, but then we're taken off track through the back door. This type of unpredictable movement can help to really engage the listener. It's also common to use the relative major of the minor subdominant, also known as a flat 6 chord, which would be B flat major in this key, to signpost a backdoor cadence. Again, it's important to hear this resolution dynamic regardless of which key is being used as an example. After all, you can transpose these chord relationships to any key, but the tension resolution effect is exactly the same. By using it in your chord progressions, you can resolve any journey you make away from that tonic chord by using the signposts we looked at. There are other ways of resolving chord sequences, so I hope this has inspired you to study and listen out for these. Experiment with linking different chords to those tension chords, and hear how the chord harmony flows through to the resolution. For example, 2-5-1 is used a lot in jazz to resolve a progression. The minor 2 chord flows naturally to the 5 tension chord, which in turn naturally resolves to the tonic. Of course, not every progression will use these dynamics, but it's just one way of engaging the listener on a journey. Bringing them home is what creates a sense of resolution, if that's the feeling you want to express. The other option is to leave them stranded away from home for some time, or leave them hanging on a tension chord. There are chords and movements that will enhance that feeling, and we'll look at that another time. Cheers.
You're sitting there imagining that with a big smile on your face.